UFC 310 is low key stacked as fuck, and we don't even like nobody's talking about it. Like, I mean, this has got some great fights on it. We're gonna go through all my predictions, starting from the very first fight on the card to the very last fight of the card. Um, so here we go. Vicente Luque versus Themba Gorimbo. Um, well, Luque had that very bad performance against Buckley, where he it kind of looked like he just quit. A lot of people were calling the fight fixed, but I mean, he got a brain bleed from Neil Magny, I think, and I think he's just kind of been he's taken so much damage over the years that I just don't think that he's like he feels the same about his skills. And I think Themba, like I mean, this dude, I like this dude. The Rock gave him a house. That was pretty fucking cool. Um, he looked pretty good in his last fight. Vicente Luque is just never going to be the same in my opinion. Kind of sucks because he was a pretty exciting fighter when he was more close to his prime. Um, yeah, I just don't think he's going to be the same anymore. I could see a round one TKO for Gorimbo or maybe round two, but I'm going to go with round one TKO. Um, again, he just Vicente didn't look great against Buckley, and I think he's just kind of giving the new generation of fighters their ticket to the rankings. Like we all know, like Neil Magny and Jeff Neal are always gatekeeping. Um, Even though I'm pretty sure they both lost recently, but they usually are the gatekeepers, and I would say that generally the same for Luque. But especially after all the damage he's taken in his career, I think he's just. I mean, he gave Buckley his ticket to the ranking, or I think he gave him the ticket to the rankings, and then he also, um, yeah, I don't know. I'm just saying, like, I think Themba is gonna. This is gonna be his ticket to the rankings. It's gonna show him up the rankings. He's gonna get ranked after this fight. I think he beats him. Uh, yeah, he's kind of just a stepping stone for newer prospects now, which kind of sucks because he was pretty exciting in his prime. I mean, I think in the first Bilal Muhammad fight, he knocked him out, and then could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure he also beat Tyron Woodley in their fight. I'd have to double check that, but either way, point being, I think Themba's gonna knock this dude out in the first round. I don't think Vicente Luque is ever gonna be the same, and yeah, it kind of sucks because he was exciting to watch in his prime, had a great career, but I think he should hang up the gloves after this one if he loses. If he wins, maybe he can look at like I don't know, like a veterans fight, like two veterans who are like, yeah, this is gonna be like our last one. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Next fight, Martin Bedet versus Rizvan Kunayev. I believe Kunayev beat Henan Ferreira and then he popped, so that fight got turned over to a no contest. That's why I have like the little picture of like a bottle of steroids over him. But I trust him to get this one done because Martin Bedet lost to Shamil Gaziev. And it's like Shamil isn't like a bad fighter. Like I know we all like to joke like, dude, he's the GOAT. Aspinall and Jones are running from. Like I know that's the whole bit, but I don't know, dude. It's just like we saw what Rosen did to Shamil, and Shamil, or I mean, Rosen is a really good fighter. I mean, he's going to be fighting Pavlovich next. I'm pretty sure is confirmed. Um, so I mean, if he wins that one, then we can kind of say, okay, well, maybe Shamil just got thrown into a ranked opponent just a little too soon. But I'm gonna say Kunayev gets this one done. He beat Renan Ferreira. I know he popped. Um, I don't think he's gonna be able to do steroids in the UFC. I mean, maybe we'll see. But yeah, I don't know. I think Renan Ferreira is a pretty good fighter. I mean, we saw Francis Ngannou take him out in the first round, but still at the same time, like he's still a good fighter. Like he's still pretty good. I'd say Bidet, like his one of his only losses is to Shamil Gaziev, but at the same time, it's just like I don't know, bro. I think Kunayev's gonna get this one done. I don't think it's gonna be very competitive. I think it's just gonna be a decision. But yeah. I mean, we'll see. We'll see. Not really much to say about this fight. Um, yeah. I mean, I don't really know. I mean, I think if Kunayev gets like another win or maybe 2 wins. He'll get like maybe he'll get the Shamil Gaziev fight. I don't know who Shamil's fighting next, but I know he's just got ranked because I think they took Stipe out of the rankings and then they just pushed him up to like number 15 because Stipe retired. So I don't know. We'll be looking at a couple interesting fights. If Bedet wins, I don't know. Yeah, not really much to say. It's just kind of one of those fights that is kind of just going to take up some time on the card. But these other fights are really good. Like the next fight we're going to Randy Brown versus Brian Battle. Okay, I got Battle winning this one. Masterclass. I could see it being somewhat competitive on the feet, but I think Brian Battle's more rounded. Like a lot of people don't know, but he started as a wrestler. He said it on the Jackson podcast. He started as a wrestler and then fell in love with his striking. He TKO'd that fucking French dude in a fist fight. He ain't losing that. He was also whooping Lusa before Lusa got eye poked and kind of wanted a way out because he eye poked Lusa. Lusa was like, "Oh, I can't see." Which is, if you want to keep fighting, you don't say that to the doctor. You lie and you be like, "Yeah, I can totally see right now," even if you can't. Um, but if you be like, "Oh, I can't see," then the doctor's gonna be like, "Yeah, you can't fight if you can't see out of one eye, dude. Like, can't have that happening." And then right after he said, "Oh yeah, I can't see and whatnot," like Brian Battle went up to him and was like, "Dude, you're being a fucking pussy right now. I was whooping your ass." And then he wanted to fight him. He started getting up in his face and he looked like he wanted to fight him. And it's just like, I thought you couldn't see. I thought you didn't want to fight anymore. So he was whooping Lusa before the no contest due to an eye poke. But I mean, Randy Brown got owned by JDM. I don't think I'd pick Brian Battle to win against JDM, but I think he would have done better. But still, um, the winner deserves a top 15 person, or should just be ranked off the bat. Like, I mean, I could see the winner of this getting like a Wonder Boy, because I mean, he's sitting at like 10 in the rankings right now, and I don't think Prates is going to be fighting down. MVP's moving up to fight Shara. I mean, Vicente's already getting cooked by Themba Gorimbo, so maybe the winner gets Themba. If, Themba wins, I think he's going to win. I think it's kind of already set in stone. I don't know. Make me eat my words. I'd love to see a Vicente Luque win in 2024. That'd be pretty cool. Next fight on the card, Lucas Brzeski versus Taliesin Tashera. So, here's the thing. Tashera is undefeated. This I cannot fucking pronounce Brzeski. Okay, bro. I just pulled a Max Holloway. Can't pronounce fighter names anymore. He's like 4-1-1 in his last 6 fights. He only, or no, 1-4-4. No, oh my, bro, I'm actually cooked. He's 1-4-1. There we go. And he only beat Walter Walker, who I swear would have won had he trusted his grappling and his takedowns a lot more. Like, when he wanted them, he was getting them, and he just didn't do enough. So I think he would have lost to Walter Walker had Walter Walker trusted his grappling just a little bit more. Like, I was literally screaming at the screen, like, bro, take him down. Every single time you shoot for it, you get it. Like, I don't know. I'm pretty sure Brzeski loses to, like, everybody who's somewhat decent at heavyweight. Like, he lost to Waldo Cortez Acosta and Mick Parkin. So I just don't think he's like that caliber. I mean, he could fraud check Tashera. I think Tashera is coming off a win off the Contender Series is what is happening, and he's making his debut in the UFC. So I don't know. He could fraud check him, but at the same time, I just, like, he's not doing great in his last couple fights. I think he's going to get cut if he loses this one. I think Tashera is going to win it. I could see him knocking him out. So, I mean, we'll see. Next fight. Ooh, this one's going to be a fucking banger, dude. Cody Durden versus Joshua Van. I'm praying for a Joshua Van win, but in his last 2 fights, it has worried me a lot because he lost to Charles Johnson, I believe it was. He got knocked out, and then against Edgar Chairez, he took a shit ton of damage, and now he wants to turn around again and fight again. And it's like, I like that. I like that he wants to stay active, but at the same time, he's 1-1 in his last 2, which, I mean, I'm kind of like cherry picking or like what's the word I'm looking for? Or like the phrase. Kind of like tunnel visioned on that. But it is worrying because I'm pretty sure if I remember the fight correctly with Edgar Chairez, in the first round he got dropped pretty badly. And then in the second round he started teeing off on him, and then I think he won the third round as well, and I think he ended up winning that fight based on the second and the third, if I'm remembering correctly. He was teeing off on Edgar Chairez in the second round, I believe it was. But I was worried in that fight because I'm pretty sure he got dropped early in the first. And it was kind of like, oh my gosh, are we really witnessing the downfall of Joshua Van? Like, I like this dude. Like, he's a fun prospect, and like, I like him. He's cool. He's a cool dude. I also like Cody Durden. Cody Durden is what is that? 3-2 in his last five. I believe he lost to Tagir Ulanbekov and someone else. I kind of forgot. I think he got choked out by Tagir Ulanbekov, and then he just beat Matt Schnell. And Matt Schnell retired, but like, here's my thing about Matt Schnell is like, if you beat Matt Schnell in any time recently, it's not. I don't really think it's that impressive. Like, Matt Schnell is kind of fallen way out of his prime. I don't necessarily know if he's like an impressive win anymore because it's just kind of like, oh, you beat Matt Schnell, so did like so many other people. Um, I will say I am worried for Joshua Van though because he did take a lot of damage in his last two fights, but I mean we can just pray for a Joshua Van win. I have him by round 2 knockout. I think he can. I think he will. Praying for that. We love Joshua Van, exciting prospect. So, hopefully Joshua Van wins, but next fight. Oh my god, this one's going to be a fucking stinker, bro. Um Movsar Evloev versus Aljamain Sterling. So, I think Evloev is going to get it done. We're praying for Aljo to get it done because I think Aljo's slightly more exciting than Evloev. He at least has some finishes in his career. I don't think Evloev has a single finish in his UFC career. I know he's choked some people out on the regional scene, but I mean, Sterling, if he wins, maybe give him Volkanovski. I don't want Volkanovski to fight Lopez. Lopez is dangerous and he's got power in his hands. And if he fights Volkanovski, I think he knocks him out. Like we saw what he did to Brian Ortega. He slept him with with the shot and then woke him up mid-air with another shot. He's got that power, and it is kind of like Ortega was kind of known as having a really, really good chin, and it's like him coming off of the win against Sadiq Youssef. Sadiq Youssef's always kind of been a little chinny, so it was kind of like, oh, well, he slept Sadiq Youssef. Like, I don't know about that one. But then he went out there and had that amazing performance against Brian Ortega. And here's the issue with that is like, I don't want Lopez fighting Volkanovski. I feel like if anybody should fight Volkanovski, it should be Aljo coming off a win here. Because I think it's winnable for Volkanovski because Sterling isn't necessarily known to have the most power in his hands, and he's not necessarily known for his flatline knockout power. But, like, that was a super fight that a lot of us, like, if O'Malley lost to Sterling, we were definitely looking at that as a potential fight. And I think that is, and Aljo was talking about it too, and I'm low-key kind of excited to see that. I mean, they're both going to be at featherweight. Sterling has built himself up to featherweight. Like, it's not like he's just going to be doing this for one camp. He's at featherweight because, you know, he beat Calvin Kattar, and this is his second fight at featherweight. It'll be his third if he fights Volkanovski next. So I've started appreciating Sterling a lot more now. Like, I don't think I was very appreciative of his during his title reign, but like low key, I think we all hated Aljo a little too much. I think there's a lot of hate there that was undeserved. Like, I know the way he got the belt, I have it up on screen, was very controversial, but like at the same time, with the belt just changing hands it's so frequent. Like, I mean, it was kind of nice when we had a reigning defending champion. I know that might be an unpopular opinion, but like if Umar takes the belt off Merab, then it's kind of just like, dude, we've had like so many different bantamweight champions, and it kind of does mess up like the bantamweight GOAT conversation if Umar beats Merab, because Merab has a case to be bantamweight GOAT because he's beat Peter Yan, he's beat Morales isn't a good win. I was gonna say Morales, but that's not necessarily a good win. And he beat O'Malley, and he beat who else did he beat? Henry Cejudo. Like, he's got good wins on his resume. I think I'm forgetting one name in there, but Still, my point being, it kind of does mess up the bantamweight GOAT conversation, and I know there's going to be a bunch of glazers in the comments being like, dude, Umar beat Marab, so he's definitely the GOAT now. It's just like, no, dude. And I don't want, I could see Umar immediately winning the belt and screaming for a shot at the featherweight throne. And it's just like, no, dude. Like, I wouldn't let that shit fly with O'Malley, even though I love O'Malley. Like, he's such a fun striker to watch. I really like O'Malley. Um, but like when he was talking about beating Cheeto and then beating Marab and then going up to fight Ilya, it's like, no, I think the minimum should be like 3 or 4 title defenses, not 1 or 2, or not just win the belt and you go up. So yeah, sorry for yapping about this one a little bit too much, but it, I don't know. Aljamain versus Evloev. I think Evloev is just going to get a unanimous decision. It's 3 rounds. I would lean Sterling in a 5 rounder, but I don't know. I think Evloev, he is a pretty big featherweight, I feel like, and I mean, he is a really good grappler. I could see this fight playing out on the feet, though. I could see both guys not necessarily wanting to grapple, play it out on the feet, and I would give Aljamain the edge in on the feet. I think he's a better striker. I think he's low key kind of a slept on striker. I think he's low key slept on. He's a great grappler, but I think a lot of people do sleep on his striking. So next fight, don't you ever talk about my mom. Fucking Michael Chiesa versus Max Griffin. Um, I think I have just Griffin winning a decision. It's like recently, who have you beat, Chiesa? You beat Tony Ferguson, who should have stayed at lightweight, in my opinion. I don't think he should have gone to welterweight because Chiesa started his career at lightweight and then he moved up because he was a massive lightweight and he's a decently sized welterweight as well. Um, but he beat Tony. Like that's his only like real recent good win, and it's also just kind of like, what do you guys like? What's your motivation to get into this fight? Like, I don't know what the motivation is because I don't think the winner of this is getting a ranked opponent. I don't think they're going to be a contender anymore. I don't think that any of that's happening. I guess it's just for a quick paycheck. You're both getting older. Like I said earlier, or just now, your time as like a contender is over. So this fight doesn't really mean that much in my opinion. I mean, maybe the winner gets like a veteran for like a big last send off fight and then they both retire afterwards. I don't think that this fight really has any implications on who's going to get a ranked opponent, who's going to make a run at the welterweight throne. So, let me plug in my headset real quick. So, I mean, I just got Max Griffin winning this one. I just don't trust that. Yes, you choked out Tony Ferguson in the first round, but Tony's been washed for a while now. And it's just kind of like, I don't know. Yeah, there's just not much to this fight. I'll still be watching. I'll still be tuning in. I'm gonna watch every fight on this card as I always do. If you don't watch every fight on like a pay-per-view, I'm not just talking about the main card. I'm talking about the entire thing, early prelims, main card. Get out of here, bro. Like I can get missing some fight night cards because some fight night cards are just really difficult to watch, but yeah. Next fight. So this is me versus Clay Guida. If you didn't know, I actually am Chase Hooper. I'm quite literally him. That is me in the photo. I am Chase Hooper. Um, I'm gonna sub this dude. Trust. Second round submission. Darce choke. Trust me, it's gonna happen. Title run starts now. I'm gonna get a ranked opponent, and then after I beat a ranked opponent, I'm gonna go fight Moicano. Then I'm gonna sub Moicano, and then after I beat Moicano, I'm gonna look at like a Gaethje. I'm gonna sub Gaethje, and then I'm gonna beat Islam Makhachev. Trust. This is just it's in the script. Like I know my future. Trust me. I am Chase Hooper. I know what I'm gonna do. I am the GOAT. I'm going to be the lightweight GOAT. I would beat Khabib in his prime. Trust me. I am Chase Hooper. No, but real shit, it's literally, I'm pretty sure, one of the oldest dudes on the roster versus one of the youngest dudes on the roster. I do have Hooper winning this. Um, he looked pretty good in his last fight, even though the stoppage was a little suspect because the guy claimed he didn't tap. I clearly felt him tap. I was there. I am Chase Hooper. If you didn't know, I literally am Chase Hooper. He did tap. Trust. And we're not acting like uh like the first round was a 10-8, almost 10-7, you know, and like I'm the GOAT, dude. I'm the future GOAT. And I'm still young, dude. So title run starts now. I am Chase Juper. Trust. All right, next fight. That's enough of that. Dude, Dominic Reyes. We are so fucking back. It's the fucking GOAT versus Lion Fart, bro. Dude, Reyes better smoke this dude. If not, y'all better check up on me. I don't know if I can say that, but I won't be having a great time. So check up on me if Reyes loses. Especially because the narrative from the Jones fans, because like, oh well, dude, Jones beat Anthony Smith, dominated him, couldn't finish him though. Dominated him, and then Reyes lost to him. So I think he actually beat Reyes. It's like, dude, no, you just didn't watch the fucking fight. You're just coping. Anyways, I think that Reyes is gonna break in there. I think maybe after. Wait, did I say Reyes is gonna break in there? No, I meant Smith. Smith's gonna break in there, not Reyes. What the fuck? I meant Reyes is gonna break Smith. And then maybe he should be looking at like Johnny Walker if Johnny Walker loses. That could be a free layup for Reyes. Because, I mean, bro, Johnny Walker needs to move up to like heavyweight or something. But then again, they hit harder up there. So I'm not 100% sure. But it's also just like Johnny Walker, if he gets chinned again, like, ugh. I like Johnny Walker too, bro. He's actually responded to my DMs. I'm not even lying. Like, I will make a community post and prove it. He said if he beats Bogdan Guskov, because I'm pretty sure that's who he's fighting next, he said he'll do a backflip. Okay? I'm not even lying. I will get the screenshot. I'm not even lying, bro. Anyways, Reyes title one run starts now. I don't want him to fight Pereira, though. Wait for Pereira to, like, vacate or retire after a couple more fights, because Reyes' chin is kind of suspect. I love the guy, but his chin is suspect, and Pereira might actually kill him if they fight. So, he should be looking at like Johnny Walker if he loses, maybe even if he wins too. Because if he puts together a win against Anthony Smith, I mean that's a decent win. He should be looking at somebody who doesn't have a shit ton of knockout power. Like if Olberg wins his next one, do not fight Olberg, please. Olberg is dangerous as fuck. Please do not fight him. So, I don't know. We'll see. Next fight up the card. Oh, I got some shit to say about this fucking fight. Okay. Mitchell versus Kron Gracie. I'm sorry, but why is the dude who's 1-2 in the UFC getting a ranked opponent? Like, I hope Mitchell kills this dude. No disrespect to Gracie, but like, dude, this is the most undeserving ranked opponent ever. You're 1-2 in the UFC, buddy. Like, I don't know what the UFC is doing. They did not cook with this one. I mean, there's so many other ranked opponents who will, not will, but deserved this shot over him, like Gene Silva. That being said, Mitchell via decision. I don't see him finishing him, but I think he could out-grapple him. So, yeah, I don't know why Gene Silva's not getting this shot, or, you know, almost any other featherweight. Like, the next fight on the card, Nate the Train, we'll get to that in a second, but I think Nate the Train would have been more deserving of a ranked opponent. We love Nate the Train. Nate the Train's the GOAT. Anyways, yeah, I have Mitchell via decision. Yeah. Nate Landwehr versus Doohoo Choy. Okay. Nate's gonna murder this fool, bro. Be for real. Like, Nate title run starts now. You know, give him the winner of Gracie Mitchell. I'm not even joking. Like, he deserves it. Doohoo Choy is like 1-3-1 in his last 5. And Nate the Train only really lost to Dan Ige. And we know Dan Ige as kind of a gatekeeper. Like, here's the thing about Dan Ige is, like, he had a competitive fight with Lerone Murphy. Like, he had him hurt badly in that fight. And it's just, like, losing to Dan Ige is not, like, a bad thing, in my opinion. If you lose to Dan Ige and then you bounce back with a couple more wins, it's just like, oh, maybe you just weren't ready for it. We know Dan Ige is dangerous. We know Dan Ige is good. And we know that Nate Landwehr would kill him in a rematch. That's all I'm saying. No, but real shit, I got Landwehr knocking this dude out in the first round. I mean, I don't know. Check up on me if Nate Landwehr loses. Nate the Train, baby. Nate the Train season, baby. Give him the winner of Gracie Mitchell. Yeah. Yeah, I think he's gonna chin him early though. I do like Doohoo Choy. He's cool. He's a nice guy. I'm not preying on this dude's downfall or nothing. I know it might have sounded harsh earlier, but still. Next fight, Gane versus Volkov 2. Uh, I think I have Gane round 2 knockout. Yeah. I could see Volkov winning this though. I think and Gane has been out for a while, low key. He kind of has been a little inactive. And Volkov, I think he fought in Saudi Arabia last on the Ikram versus Whitaker card in Abu Dhabi fight night. I think he beat Pavlovich. And I mean, either way, the winner of this fight is going to get the Aspinall fight for the undisputed title because I don't think Jones is going to fight Aspinall. He's going to intentionally price himself out of that fight. He's going to say, oh, he's already said it. Oh, I need fuck you money. Like, dude, you did the same thing when Ngannou was around. Like, oh, I need so much money that it doesn't even matter if I lose this fight. It's like, dude, this is the goat of the sport who's like, yeah, I'm not confident in myself. I might lose this fight, so I need a shit ton of money. It's like I get it. You're probably worth that, especially if you fight Aspinall because Aspinall is such a big fight than a lot of people think. But I don't know. I just think the winner of this is going to get the Aspinall fight for the undisputed belt, and it's going to be used to build Aspinall up because I think Aspinall beats both of these guys. I think Gane has a better chance of beating him than Volkov does, but I do think that they both lose to him. I think 9 times out of 10, Gane loses to um, Aspinall, and I think Volkov loses to him 10 out of 10 times. I just don't see Volkov beating Aspinall. Um, but yeah, I think Cyril Gane's probably gonna get a TKO. Maybe I don't know. He was out for a while. I might want to switch my pick to Volkov. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see who wins this fight. I think they get the Aspinall fight. I don't think Jones is fighting Aspinall. Um, Volkov again coming off that win over Pavlovich. And Pavlovich is still good. Like people seem to think that he's bad just because he lost his last two, but he lost to Aspinall and Volkov. Volkov is good. We know Volkov is good. And we do know that Aspinall is really good too. I mean, I could see if he loses against like Rosenstruik, then that might age poorly, but Rosen's still good. I mean, it's just going to age more poorly for Aspinall and Volkov if he loses to Rosen. But if he beats Rosen, then it might age pretty well for both these guys, for Aspinall and Volkov. I do think Cyril Gane's going to win, though. I could just see the plot armor. I think that they definitely do want to set up the Gane versus Aspinall fight. If Gane smokes him in a minute, then he can make a claim of like, yeah, well, I'm better than Ngannou because Ngannou took this dude to a decision. I knocked this dude out, so I'm better on the feet than Jones is. Jones had to submit him, and that fight was a little suspect. I'm not saying it was fixed, but kind of suspect. It's like, I don't know, man. Gane didn't look like he wanted to be in there. So, still, point being, Aspinall beats both these guys. So, yeah. Next fight up the card. Co-main event. Sorry, I'm coughing a lot. My throat's giving me issues, bro. Shavkat versus Garry. I see Shavkat as I have picked on Tapology around 3 TKO. Maybe some knees up the middle hurts him. I don't see Garry out grappling him. I mean, who knows? Maybe he does train with Oliveira at Shootbox, and I could see Shavkat being more gritty, though. I could see him being more tough, ready for damage. I just feel like Shavkat's going to outmuscle him. Garry is a vegan. Like, that is a factor that we need to consider. And Shavkat, low-key, has that carnivore caveman diet. So Shavkat probably wins this. I could see it being a competitive decision that Garry loses, based on, like, the last 2 rounds, maybe. I don't know. I respect Garry for taking this fight. Like a lot of people shit on Garry. I have his some interesting pictures pulled up of him, but I like this. I like undefeated versus undefeated. That's a good like who, bro. Somebody has to lose their O. Unless if it ends in a draw, bro. I'd actually fucking be so mad. Or like a no contest. Oh my, bro. No, but like I do like 100% finish rate versus undefeated. They're both undefeated. Shavkat has 100% finish rate. Will he find the finish over Ian Garry, or will Ian Garry? I don't think Ian Garry's gonna finish him, but like, dude, if Ian Garry pulls this off, he might be in line next for the title, bro. Or he could be looking at like another title eliminator. But I think this is a title eliminator, though. I think Dana White has confirmed that. But I mean, Garry made Colby duck him, because he's Colby said like, oh, dude, I don't want to fight some scrap in the rankings, some little kid in the lower in the rankings than me. I need to be looking up the rankings. It's like, bro, your most recent win is Masvidal. Masvidal isn't even on the fucking roster anymore. He's talked about making a comeback. I'd like to see that. A lot of people shit on Masvidal. I liked Masvidal, okay? Masvidal's cool. I don't know. Colby's most recent win was Masvidal, and then he got a title shot for it. And then he lost his title shot. Didn't do fuck all. Except for in like I think it was like the last 2 rounds, he kind of turned it on. I get it, he had a broken foot or whatever, but at the same time, Garry made Colby duck him. Like he said like, yeah, you're not gonna fight me. You are ducking me. And yeah, I mean, because if it was all about rankings, why is he fighting Buckley, who's lower in the rankings? Do you really think you have a better chance of beating Buckley than Garry? I could see being more competitive with Garry than Buckley. I think Buckley TKOs Colby. And I have a feeling that Colby doesn't really trust his chin anymore. He doesn't really he's kind of doubtful of himself. He's getting older. So, I don't know. I see Shavkat winning this one. Round 3 TKO. I think he's going to get the finish over Ian Garry. I could see him just being out-muscling him. I don't see him out-grappling them, though. I think they're pretty neutral in the grappling because I'm pretty sure Shavkat did struggle to take down Wonder Boy. He ended up submitting him, I know, but I don't see anything really impressive on both of these guys grappling. But at the same time, I think Shavkat slightly better grappling, but I'm not 100% sure. I don't know what Ian Garry's game plan is going to be for this fight because it is dangerous on the feet, but also I don't see him being able to do what he did to MVP to Shavkat. So I don't know. I don't think he's going to submit him. I think he might be able to outgrapple him in moments, but we'll see. We'll see, man. Up the card. Pantoja versus Asakura. I mean, I see Pantoja testing his grappling and subbing this dude. That's why I have him round 3 submission. But at the same time, I could see Pantoja getting chinned. He is getting older. And, the fight with Steve Erceg, low-key a robbery. Erceg was piecing this dude up, and he was out-damaging him. Based on damage, Erceg wins that. I could see Asakura getting DQ'd, though. Because in Ryzen, there is knees and kicks to a grounded opponent. But I could also see, I have a vision for this fight. It's not only either like a DQ loss for Asakura, but I could also see a split decision win for him. If it's a close fight, I think they would give it to Asakura because I think he's more of a star. He sells out arenas in Japan. Like, watch MMA Guru's video on it. He does sell out arenas in Japan, and they are adding more Japanese stars to their roster, Like, and it also opens up the division more because nobody wants to see Royval versus Pantoja 3 or Moreno versus Pantoja 3 or, like, any of that. Like, Asakura is a huge star in Japan, and if they do an event over there, you could get Rei Saruya, Tatsuro Taira. I just think if it's a close decision, I could see them giving it to Asakura. I think he's more of a star, and I think he's more beneficial to the UFC. I think that, like, there might be something to that. I do have Pantoja winning by submission because I haven't seen too much of Asakura's grappling, and I don't know if he's going to be able to out-grapple. I think Pantoja, like, we saw him, he is intense. He is a very intense grappler. Like, I believe first round of him versus Erceg, he was just, like, taking it to him in the grappling. And, I mean, you want to use MMA math. I'm pretty sure Pantoja beat Manel Cap, and Manel Cap has a win and a loss, but a win and a loss. More importantly, a win over Asakura. Yeah, I don't know, though. I would say Pantoja via submission, but I could see a split decision going to Kai Asakura because he's a big star. They can do an event in Japan, and they could make so much fucking money off of that. Tatsuro Taira in the main event versus like Amir Albazi maybe, or not main event, co-main event. Sorry. Um, Royval versus uh Asakura. You know, Asakura gets to avenge Taira. Taira was undefeated when he fought Royval, and you know it's like, oh, these guys are both Japanese. They like each other. Um, but I also don't like the fact that Asakura is going down in weight. But at the same time, I don't know. Royval versus Asakura could be a main event, co-main event. Taira versus Emir Albazi, or Taira versus Kaikara France. Winner gets a title shot, maybe. I don't know. Something like that. Or no, if Kaikara France wins, he gets a title shot. I don't know. Something like that. These are my predictions. Um, yeah, I really hope that Shavkat beats Garry because I think he has a better chance of beating Bilal than Garry does. I don't know. Uh, yeah, these are my predictions. Let me know if you disagree or agree in the comments. We can scrap it out. Of course, I am fighting Chase Hooper versus Clay Guida. That is me. I am going to beat Clay Guida. We all know this. So that's the real main event. Everybody knows that. Those are my final predictions. Well, no, maybe not final predictions. I might change a couple depending on fight week. If there's a couple rumors of staph infection, I might have to change my picks. But these are my rough predictions. This card is fucking stacked. Just let me know what you guys think. I will see you guys in the next one.